Ooh, that line crisp. It's like going to a barbershop getting that fresh line up. Welcome back to the Weds episode. Some months later. Let me see. Today is the 29th of September. So I think I did the back wheels a few months ago. I put the date up here. It's been a while. But I have the money finally to order 4 lips, 1 barrel, and hardware. So I took the other back wheel apart and I put it on the front barrel so that I can see how the 3-inch lip fits on the front. Because before, 2-inch lip with a 15mm spacer. So now I have 3-inch lip on here, so in theory it should stick out 10mm further than what it stuck out here. And no, I don't know what the offset is. I'll try to calculate this, but it will be a 10.5 in the rear and a 10 in the front. This is the crack that broke the camel's back right there. Ooh, that's right on the money. So let's go place an order. My lips, my barrel, my hardware is here. Let's get it open. Let's check it out. Let's make sure that nothing is damaged. A box inside of a box. There we go. So this is my hardware, and that's heavy. Let's make sure the one set of lips fit the front barrels and that they also fit the faces. I know that the lips for the rear barrels are 1 hole off, so I'll work around that. That's not VR's fault. That's my fault. Oh. I always recommend checking your shipments as soon as you can to make sure, to make sure that your shipment is correct and exactly what you ordered. The longer you wait, the harder it can be to make a case. Now, I just went with some little baby 3-inch lips because, you know, I'm running no camber. So step 1, all the holes line up like they should. Man, it feels good to see these faces on some nice lips. And here we have the 1 new front barrel with the new lip and of course my old faces, and all the holes lined up, so we're good. We should be good to go here. With the new hardware, boom, that's me. So let's check out this hardware and let's see what it looks like. Ooh. Oh, they packaged these individually. Man, that's wild. Look at that. Is that focusing? They have a dark neochrome and a light neochrome. This is the light neochrome. And I'm hoping that will give it a nice little subtle look. You know, something other than having chrome hardware. So something subtle without being just like over the top. I don't like over the top stuff. Hopefully this will give it a little bit of like subtleties or whatever it is. But I do like it for a little bit of color. I got the barrels cleaner than what they were. I got all the stickers off, all the wheel weights off. So I'm getting them ready for paint. So with the paint, since it's bare metal, I'm gonna go with self-etching primer. Tomorrow, we're gonna get it looking good. And then the day after that, we're gonna get the wheels reassembled. It's daytime. Look how good these barrels turned out. Like, that is just beautiful. That satin black looks really good, and I like it a lot. So now I'm going to start polishing the lips. I have this Chemical Guys Jet Seal sealant and paint protection, and what And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to add a layer of protection on the polished wheels. I'm going to hit it with this jet seal probably like once every 6 months. I plan on cleaning the wheels probably at least once, if not twice a week. And then I'm probably gonna get like some mother polish to do like maybe once a month. And per the instructions, I'm gonna let it sit for 20 minutes, buff it off, and then sit for 24 hours. So all 4 lips are somewhat more protected than what they were when I got them. One thing about 3-piece wheels is that you can have a high disc, a medium disc, or a low disc. I believe I have a medium disc and a low disc. And all that is, that's just talking about the backing on the face of the wheel. So here you can see that this sticks out, I don't know, 3/8 of an inch or something like that. So this is going to be considered to be like a low mid disc here. And basically this would just give you clearance from your brake caliper, whatever the case may be. So like on most wheels, when you change offset, they just add more or less of the backing plate. So I have a low mid disc, which is ran on the front to help clear the calipers. And then if we go over to the low disc, you will see that on this one, it basically has no backing plate at all. So if you have a car that has any sort of like decent sized brake caliper, you don't want to run a low disc because the face, the back of the face, is probably going to come in contact with the brake caliper. So I know that the low disc goes on the rear wheels, and then my low mid disc faces goes on the front wheels. So if you take your wheels apart, if you have different disc faces, you need to make sure that you keep up with which one is the front and which one is the rear, because if you mess around and put the low disc on the front, you may wonder why you have caliper clearance issues. So I'm going to put, I don't know, the fronts together first. So I'm going to do the mid disc with the 7-inch barrels, and we're going to start getting these together. Alright, so when putting your faces in, you don't want to push them all the way in until you try to make sure that your bolt holes are lined up. Like mine are not all the way lined up, so that's going to cause a little issue. Just get time to put bolts in it. And the second thing is that if you have a reverse lip where the valve stem is on the barrel, you want to make sure that the valve stem on the barrel lines up with the big hole on the lip and the big hole on the face. Because if it doesn't line up, then your valve stem is not going to line up at all. You're going to have one hole in the lip that's bigger than the rest, and then you're going to have one hole on the face that's bigger than the rest. So make sure you line those up. If not, you will be taking your wheels back apart. So now I'm going to start dropping the hardware in, and I ordered new hardware, ordered new bolts and nuts. Yo, this is a painful process, having to take these out bolt by bolt.
Super cool, don't care about nothing. He don't even like that shirt, but he put it on because he don't care. You gotta pray one don't fall off on the pillow in the middle of the night, because then you gotta explain to her why you hit her in the face with a rage hand. Baby, I didn't know what that was. You gotta get you some more hot glue.
So now all the hardware is just, ooh, this is shiny. Right now the hardware, that looks good. I'm not biased because these are mine, but this looks good. And actually the color from the hardware is very low key, but it gives it that little extra pop if you sit there and really look at it. So I dig it. This looks really, really good. All right, right now the hardware is just finger tight. For the last ones, for the factory hardware, I did 15 foot-pounds of torque. So 18 should be safe for M7 bolts. And let's get these torqued down. Alrighty, so all are torqued down to 18 foot-pounds or 24 Newton meters. So now, does he gotta do that 3 more times? Ooh, these things look good. On the back side of each spoke, there's 2 threaded holes where these go. So I'm not gonna do that on camera, but I do need to put those in the 2 threaded holes in the back of the face. So now that the wheels are together, it is time to silicone them. We're going to apply tape to both sides where the barrel and the lip meet, and then we're going to apply the silicone, and when we pull the tape off, it should give us a real nice clean bead. And even though nobody's going to see it, I know it's going to be there, so at least it'll look nice. It'll look nice for the tire shop. And this wheel roller makes this very, very easy, and I'll leave an Amazon link in the description below. So let's get wheel 104 all siliconed up and sealed, and then we'll be good to go. All right, so what was recommended to me was this Dowsel 732 RTV sealant. I went ahead and cut the tip. You gotta take like a nail or something in there and bust the foil. Let's go ahead and get it sealed. And I have a link in the description below for this sealant. So when you're doing it, you want to make sure that you don't get any air pockets. You want to try to not have any air pockets, because the air pockets will not be your friend when it comes to trying to keep these wheels from leaking at the seam. So take your time. This tube is more than enough to do 4 wheels. You probably could do 2-3 sets of wheels out of 1 tube. So just take your time and try to minimize air pockets. Try to have no air pockets, because then you'll wonder why your wheels are leaking. So once you're done, clean your tip up. You know, that's be the first thing. Cleaning your tip should be the first thing you do when you get done. If you're not, you're just nasty. And then from here, I'm just gonna take my finger and just kind of smooth it out. And you have the tape to keep it looking nice, so you don't have to worry about trying to make it perfect. And this stuff is like very strong and potent, so make sure that you are doing this in a well ventilated area, because I can definitely see lightheadedness becoming a problem, because this stuff is strong. And once everything looks good to you, we should be good to go with removing the tape. And I recommend to remove the tape while the RTV is wet, because otherwise you may not be able to remove it. Ooh, that line crisp. It's like going to a barber shop getting that fresh line up. Alright, so that's one down, 3 to go. A rule of thumb is to let it dry for at least 48 hours before you put a tire on it. That way, make sure it fully cures so that you get the best leak proofness that you can get. I didn't get it good on camera earlier because it was already in the thingamabobber. But you can see Dowsel RTV sealant, 732 multi-purpose sealant, white. Like, so you can get it in black. But you know, once you get the tire on, you're not gonna see it anyway. But like I said, there will be a link in the description. So in a couple of days, or for y'all, in a few minutes, we will be heading to the tire shop to get tires put on. Be back in a jiffy. Alright y'all, so the day has come. We're about to get the Ratz loaded up into Bertha. Take them to the tire shop. Of course, Rad Performance, the only ones I trust with my wheels. Gonna get the tires mounted up. So the rears are 10.5 wide, so I'm doing 245/35. The fronts are 10 wide, doing 235/35. So get them loaded up, drop them off, pick them up. If the rain holds off, get them on. Rear fitment should be fine. Front fitment, I'm not quite sure about yet. All loaded up. Time to go to the tire shop.